My name is Jake. Today is the anniversary of my marriage to my wife, Emma. It's our first anniversary, so we plan ahead to exchange gifts and have dinner at a fancy restaurant that we wouldn't normally go to. This is really wonderful. Thank you, Jake. I'm glad you like it. I love this watch too. Thanks. She loves her new dress, and she seems really happy, which makes me happy too. My gift is a custom-made wristwatch. It has our anniversary date engraved on the back, and she picked out the color and style exactly to my taste. Hey, can I wear this to dinner tonight? Of course you can. It looks great on you. I think I'll put on my watch right now. Wearing our gifts, we headed to the restaurant we had reserved. I never thought I'd be in a place with such a beautiful night view, but I'm a little proud that I can bring my special someone to a place like this. Don't you feel like we've grown up? Remember when we used to celebrate at a casual diner back in high school? Definitely. Those were the days. I remember we ordered wine and beer for the first time on your 21st birthday. Looking back, the food and drinks were nothing special, but at the time, we thought it was the best thing in the world. Reminiscing about the past while enjoying our food and drinks was a lot of fun. That was delicious. Hey, Jake, this was as far as we planned, but I don't really want to go home yet. Do you feel the same way? I kind of feel like it's not enough either. Really? How about we go see a movie? There's one I've been wanting to watch. Great idea. We haven't been to a movie in a while. Let's go. After finishing our meal, we headed straight to the movie theater. Choosing clothes and accessories and going on a late-night date felt nostalgic, like we were back to when we first met. It wasn't just me enjoying this feeling. Emma seemed to feel the same way. By the time we finished watching the movie, it was quite late. The night scene was lively, and some people were noticeably drunk. As we walked through the downtown area, I felt like today had been the perfect anniversary. Until that happened. Whoa, careful there. Oh. Suddenly, Emma, who was walking next to me, staggered. It seemed like she had bumped shoulders with someone as we passed by. Emma, are you okay? Yeah, oh, my clothes. Hey, lady, what are you gonna do about this? The man who seemed to have collided with her raised his voice and approached us. Don't just bump into people. I can't drink my new frappuccino now. And look at my clothes. What are you gonna do about this? The container of the drink the man was holding had its lid come off due to the collision, causing the contents to spill. It seemed the drink had spilled onto the man's clothes. And the spilled drink also got on her, staining the dress I just gave her as a present. I'm sorry, but hey you, I don't hear an apology. I'm sorry. But if I may say, didn't you bump into her? My wife was walking straight. Huh? Who are you? I'm talking to this lady here. As I stepped in to talk between her and him, I noticed that his face was flushed, and it was clear he was drunk. I'm her husband. I apologize for staining your clothes, but I think you were the one who stumbled. So why is the husband butting in? This is a custom-made suit. It cost a lot, you know. Don't just tell me. Your wife bumped into me and got it dirty. You get what I'm saying? I don't get it. As I said before, you were the one who... Man, you just don't get it. Hey, Kevin, what are you doing over there? A man who had been walking with the one called Kevin spoke up, looking exasperated. What's up? Say something, Dave. I'm sorry about my friend, ma'am. The man named Dave spoke to her in a calm tone. I thought he might be more reasonable than Kevin, but my hopes were dashed with his next statement. Your clothes are all dirty, so why don't you take them off? We know a good place. Come with us. Whoa. That's not okay. I couldn't help but react weirdly because he was trying to take my wife away so naturally. You don't need to worry, sir. We'll take full responsibility and make sure your wife gets home safely. What nonsense. Don't touch her. Before I knew it, Dave had his hand on her shoulder. Whether out of fear or not, Emma didn't shake off his hand, so I pulled her arm and brought her closer to me. You saw it, didn't you? Your friend stepped aside and bumped into her. No, I didn't see that. But it's clear she wasn't paying attention either, right? Our guy Kevin's suit got dirty because of it. You've got to admit that. All right, I understand. If you want me to pay for the suit, I will. How much is it? Jake, you can't be serious. It's fine. If that'll settle this. But in return, could you also compensate for her dress? Fair's fair. What kind of attitude is that? Don't act all high and mighty. Calm down, Kevin. Sir, we don't need any money. What? Yeah, we did mess up her dress, so we need to apologize. So, ma'am, how about we go buy you a new dress right now and you can change into it? Let's just call it even. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm fine with that. Now that I look, she's pretty beautiful. What? What are you talking about? Feeling the two men's eyes on her, I stepped in front of her to shield her. What are you saying? I'll pay for the suit. Isn't that enough? No, I changed my mind. Come on, ma'am. Spend a little sweet time with us, and you can save $1,000 on that suit. No, don't touch me. I told you not to touch her. You just don't get it, do you? Hey, Dave, can we shut these two up? Yeah, if they won't listen, we've got no choice. Who isn't listening? Back. As I opened my mouth to argue, a sharp pain shot through my abdomen. I realized I'd been punched as I clutched the aching spot and staggered. Jake, you guys, stop it. I'll scream for help. It's useless, ma'am. All the stores around here are under the Genovese crime family's control. Genovese crime family. Oh, you didn't know. They're a famous mafia around here. Hearing the word mafia, I turned pale. I had heard a little about them when I once hosted a business dinner at a nearby restaurant. The mafia family, called Genovese crime family, operates all the shops in this area, and if you enjoy yourself the wrong way, you'll get in big trouble. Lady, you look so cute and clueless. It's no wonder you don't know anything about this. But you can imagine what'll happen if you go against us, right? As Dave spoke, he put his hand on her shoulder again and leaned in close. So, I'm gonna have a nice date with your wife. Stop it. Get away from her. Shut up. Stop whining. Kevin then kicked my leg, making me drop to my knees, and with that momentum, he punched my cheek. I hit the ground, and he stepped on my arm. In the process, the watch Emma gave me broke. Ah, come on now. If you don't say you'll come quietly, your husband's gonna suffer more. The two mafias started laughing vulgarly. Emma stood still, her head down. She must be scared. I have to find a way to get her out of here. Just as I was about to shout run, that's when it happened. Ouch. Dave screamed and jumped back, clutching his toes. Huh? For a moment, I couldn't understand what had happened. Looking over, I saw Emma had pulled one foot slightly back. It seems she had stomped on Dave's foot with the heel of her high shoe. Don't touch him with your filthy hands. She then marched up to Kevin, took off her shoe, and hit him hard on the head with the sole. Ouch. Kevin grabbed his head, leaving an opening. During that moment, she held my shoulder and pressed a handkerchief to my wound, asking, "Are you okay?" For a moment, she was back to her usual kind self. "Hey, you bitch. Do you realize what you've done? What's wrong, loser? You think you can do whatever you want just because we were being quiet?" Her calm face turned into a sharp glare, and her tone became rough. Both I and the two mafias were shocked by her transformation. "I don't care about myself, but if you harm my husband any further, I'll take action too. The Genovese crime family, huh? Fine by me. I'll handle this, so bring your boss and junior boss here, you underlings." Silence fell among us after her loud declaration. It was Dave's laughter that broke it first. Hey, are you serious? Do you really think the bosses will talk to a civilian woman like you? Oh, really? Then I'll call someone who can talk to you. How about your main family's boss, the head of the White Lotus crime family? What? Emma casually pulled out her phone and said, "Hey, why do you know that crime family?" "Yeah, because their boss is my grandfather." While fiddling with her phone, Emma nonchalantly dropped this bombshell. However, the two mafias weren't fazed by her words and instead burst into even louder laughter. "That's the best joke I've heard. It's surprising you know about the White Lotus crime family, but that bluff is too much, lady. If you were really the granddaughter of their boss, why would you be married to a regular guy?" Dave's point seemed reasonable. I'd heard her parents had already passed away, and she had no other relatives. So, the story of her grandfather being a mafia boss was completely unexpected. Whether it's a bluff or not, you'll find out if I call him. "Oh yeah? Then go ahead and call him. I'd love to meet your boss." She confirmed once more with a "You sure about this?" before dialing. "Hey, Grandpa, do you have a moment? Some guys from the Genovese crime family want to talk." We're at. After talking for a bit on the phone, Emma calmly turned back to the two men. "Some of the executives are nearby, so they'll be here soon. Don't you dare run away." Her threatening tone made the men want to say something. But just then, the atmosphere began to change dramatically within minutes of her hanging up the phone. Two luxury cars pulled up right in front of us. "What the?" A few men stepped out of the cars, and both Kevin and Dave widened their eyes. All the men were large and dressed in black suits. Even to an average guy like me, it was obvious they were from the mafia. "Hey, everyone. Long time no see." To our surprise, Emma started chatting with them like they were old friends. The men respectfully greeted to her. When she began talking to one of them, the men in suits walked over to me. I mumbled, not knowing how to react, and they quickly ushered me into the car. In no time, they efficiently tended to the wounds on my face and body. "Emma, who are these people?" When I called out to her, one of the youngest men in a suit yelled, "Don't address her so casually. Hey, watch your mouth. Are you new here? This is my husband." Emma shouted louder than the man who had just yelled at me. Everyone around us was taken aback by her outburst. "Hey, what's going on here? Who exactly are you?" Just as Dave started to speak, another luxury car pulled up. An older man in his 70s stepped out. "Emma, I'm here. Grandpa. Long time no see. I've missed you. This Manuel, is he really Emma's grandfather? Nice to meet you. I'm James. And you must be Jake, right? I've heard about you from Emma." Nice to meet you." James indeed looked like an elderly man, but his sharp eyes and the strong build visible even through his clothes revealed his true nature. A mafia boss. I'd only ever seen such characters on TV dramas, but it was clear he was more than just a thug. "So, are you the members of the Genovese crime family who wanted to talk to me?" After a brief greeting to me, James turned his attention to Dave and Kevin. Could it be, are you really? That young lady's grandfather. What the hell? You call me out here and don't even bother to greet me. You Genovese crime family members sure are rude." I apologize. I'm Dave, a member of the Genovese crime family." "I'm Kevin." All right, as long as you understand." "So, what do you want, Dave?" "Well, the earlier bravado vanished, and both Dave and Kevin were fidgeting, unable to find words. You see, I bumped into this guy Kevin, and we ended up getting each other's clothes dirty." "I see. And then, we got into a fight. We decided to have our bosses talk it out." "No, that's not it. Not at all." "So, it's a fight. That's not good. But Emma, you should apologize since you bumped into him, too." "I know, but he said he wouldn't forgive me. And then, even Jake, who tried to stop it, got punched. I got so mad that I called for the boss and underboss." I'm really sorry. We bumped into your lady. We'll pay for the clothes, so please forgive us." "Hey, you apologize too." "We're really sorry." Dave and Kevin apologized deeply. Seeing their reaction, I realized that the White Lotus crime family was a really scary organization. "Hey, that's not fair. You guys were acting all tough earlier. Come on. If you had told us from the start that you were the boss's granddaughter." "Are you stupid? Even if I wasn't the boss's granddaughter, it's not okay to bump into someone, pick a fight, and then try to intimidate us by saying you're mafia. Is that so?" Upon hearing Emma's words, James's expression changed. His demeanor softened, but his eyes were not smiling anymore. "It looks like we need to call your boss and have a proper talk." "Yay, that's right. Come on, Dave. Call your boss and the underboss." Realizing they had no way out, Dave took out his phone and started making a call. "Hello, I'm really sorry to bother you, but we've had a trouble with the White Lotus crime family boss's granddaughter." "Yes, the boss is here too." "Yes, and we were told to call our boss and underboss." "I'm very sorry." It took about 10 minutes for the Genovese crime family boss and underboss to arrive. As soon as they saw James, they started apologizing without even asking for details. "We are very sorry for our young member's rudeness." Wait. Let's hear both sides first. "My granddaughter's clothes got dirty, but so did Kevin's, right?" No, It's fine. Really. I was planning to throw this away anyway. What? You're talking about a custom-made suit worth the thousands of dollars, right? What? I'm really sorry about that. Here, it's not much, but take this. With that, James had one of his men in black bring over a check. He quickly wrote down an amount and handed it to Kevin. No, I don't need it. Will you forgive my granddaughter for what she did with this? No way. We were the ones at fault. I'm really sorry for bumping into you. No, I won't forgive you. What? Because you guys have been apologizing to me and Grandpa since earlier, but not once to Jake. Emma, that's enough. Even though both of our bosses had come out, I was starting to lose track of what was happening. I tried to calm her, who was still fuming. It's not enough. I'll never forgive them for saying such ridiculous things and hurting someone important to me. Yeah, I feel the same way. Kevin and Dave. I didn't see who bumped into who first, but hitting a civilian and flaunting your mafia connections in public is unacceptable. Yes, you're absolutely right. Does the Genovese crime family teach their members to use the family name to do whatever they want? No. I thought the Genovese crime family was a respectable organization, but it seems you're not properly guiding the younger guys. Boss, underboss, don't you have any apologies for my son-in-law either? James then glared at the boss and underboss of the Genovese crime family. His demeanor was still gentle, but I could feel the quiet anger, and it was terrifying. Prompted by James, the bosses apologized to me. What will you do about your subordinates' misconduct? Every word from James seemed to weigh heavily. This uncompromising attitude showed he was a man of power. The boss of the Genovese crime family said, I will take responsibility for my subordinates' misconduct. He admitted his fault for not properly educating his subordinates. I know it's not my place to say this, but please, can you forgive us with just our punishment? What do you mean? Ultimately, it's my fault. I drank too much, got drunk, and stumbled, spilling a drink on your daughter. Her suit got dirty, and I got pissed, and I guess I got more aggressive because I was drunk. Kevin's words sounded different from the earlier apologies given under pressure. He seemed to genuinely acknowledge his fault and apologize from the heart. I'm sorry too. I was showing off using the family name. I'm really sorry for the trouble we caused your daughter and her husband. Wow. For someone so young, you're pretty impressive. Are you willing to take responsibility for the family? Yes. I'll accept any punishment, whether it's a finger or banishment. So, for the sake of the Genovese crime family. Did you hear that, Emma? These guys have properly apologized. What do you want to do? Kevin and Dave, please, look up. Emma spoke to the two with her usual kind expression. Will she forgive them? You said you'd accept any punishment, right? Then, will you properly accept what both the boss of the Genovese crime family and I have to say? Yes. Of course. Boss, underboss. As the heads of the Genovese crime family, what will you do with them? Emma first asked the leaders of the Genovese crime family. But I kinda get what she's trying to say. The bosses immediately responded, we'll banish the two of them. Neither Kevin nor Dave seemed to object, silently accepting the punishment. Very well. Hearing Emma's words, the two looked relieved. That should settle it as the Genovese crime family's decision. Now, from me, I'll require compensation and medical expenses from both of you for the damages. Their faces returned to a look of despair. But, we agreed to the banishment. That's between you and the Genovese crime family. It has nothing to do with us. This is a matter between you and me. Compensation. How much are we talking about? I don't know the exact amount, but maybe around $200,000. $200,000. That's impossible. I said I don't know the exact amount. If necessary, we'll get a professional to figure it out. You assaulted my husband. 1 hit to the abdomen, 1 to the leg, 2 to the face, and 2 to the arm. That's assault and battery. You ruined my clothes and broke my husband's watch, which were precious gifts for our anniversary. That's property damage. On top of ruining an important day and trying to forcefully take me away. Does that count as emotional distress? I see. That makes sense. It looked like James's anger, which had slightly subsided, was rising again. Of course, you'll also compensate my husband, including medical expenses. Considering that $200,000 is quite cheap. Damn. Oh, wait. Miss, you assaulted us too, didn't you? What? Yeah. Boss, believe us. She hit my head with a high heel. That's right. She also stomped on my foot with her heel. Recalling what Emma did earlier, I remembered that she did indeed harm them. The medical expenses and the mental anguish. That's covered, right? The two mafias had a slightly smug look on their faces. They were trying to lighten the punishment on themselves a bit. Emma couldn't argue with this and remained silent. Regarding that matter, I apologize. When I suddenly spoke up, everyone present had a look of surprise. I was nervous being the center of attention of real mafia members, but I steeled myself and apologized to Kevin and Dave. I will pay for the treatment of the injuries to your legs and head. Regardless of the circumstances, my wife did intentionally hurt you both. I am very sorry. This was the best sincerity I could offer. Regardless of who was more at fault, I believe that a mistake must be sincerely apologized for. Jake, stop. I was the one who did it. I should take responsibility. It's okay. Emma, you did it for me, didn't you? Emma, is that true? Yes. I see. All right, I understand. I will pay for the treatment and compensation for Kevin and Dave. What? I wasn't the only one who let out that voice. No, boss, that's a bit too much. Why? Emma is my granddaughter, and Jake is her husband. What's wrong with me covering the medical expenses for my family? I believe my granddaughter's mistake is due to my own poor upbringing. That is. Dave glanced at the leaders of the Genovese crime family. As expected, both the boss and the underboss were glaring at the two with fierce expressions. I vaguely recalled a time in the past when I argued with a friend about who was more at fault, and both of us ended up getting scolded by adults. Insisting that the other person is also at fault has never resulted in a good outcome. Trying to calm the boss's anger a little had backfired. Now, how much do you need for the medical expenses and compensation? I'll pay whatever you ask. James prepared to write another check. I couldn't believe that there were people in this world who could easily write checks worth 1,000, even hundreds of thousands. The leaders of the Genovese crime family hurriedly tried to stop him, saying, "We don't need compensation or medical expenses. Don't be shy, it's fine," James said with a smile, but the members of the Genovese crime family kept shaking their heads. Eventually, he left, saying, "I'll give them a strict lesson later," and dragged the two away from the scene. That left just me, Emma, James, and the members of the White Lotus crime family. Well, they're gone. Never thought I'd have to mediate such a big fight between grown-up kids at my age. I'm sorry, James. It was my fault. I got hit and couldn't fight back, and I ended up relying on Emma. I'm sorry for causing trouble. I felt so guilty towards Emma. Looking back, she had never talked about her family. Her grandfather had a special occupation, so she probably didn't want to bring it up to me. Maybe she wanted to keep it a secret, but because of me, it got revealed. Jake, I'm glad I met you today. What? Thanks to you, I found out that my granddaughter met the best husband she could have. Emma, you're lucky. All right, it's time to go home. I'll give you a ride. James said this and had a car driven by one of his men take us home. Once we settled down, Emma told me the whole story. My parents, they both died when I was little. Since then, my grandpa raised me. But because my grandpa is the boss of the mafia, the kids who knew about it were all scared of me, so I couldn't make any friends. I see. I love and respect my grandpa, but I was scared to talk about my family. I was afraid you'd be scared and leave me if you found out about my grandpa. I'm sorry for keeping it a secret. I understand. But James is really a great grandfather. What? His calm demeanor is just like yours. Your kindness must come from him. Jake, don't you think anything about us? What? I mean, I'm part of the mafia family. My grandpa is the boss and a scary person. What are you talking about? You and your grandpa are really cool and kind, good people. Sure, the mafia might be a scary job to some people, but at least to me, your grandpa didn't seem like the type to hurt people for no reason. It's because you were raised by such a person that I fell in love with you, Emma. Emma took my hand, tears streaming down her face, and I squeezed her hand back tightly. I think today has become an unforgettable day in many ways. As declared by the leaders of the Genovese crime family, the 2 mafia members were expelled from the family. Formally, James paid for their medical expenses, but it was far from enough to offset the debt they would carry from now on. To pay our compensation and medical expenses, the family leaders apparently found the 2 of them jobs. They didn't tell us the details, but since it's a place where they won't see the light of day for a while, there won't be any retaliation. The leaders of the Genovese crime family assured us of that. Every month, several $1,000s are transferred to our bank account through James. After that, I officially visited James to greet him as Emma's husband. I'm sorry it's taken me a year to greet you. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry I couldn't properly introduce myself as her grandfather. With a family like this, regular folks get scared and no one comes near her. She's been through a lot because of it. Emma told me about it. But it doesn't matter to me. I'll definitely make Emma happy. So please, let me stay as her husband. Really. Can you swear to be with her no matter what happens? Of course. If you break that promise, you understand, right? I swear. Grandpa, you're scaring him. I'm just joking. Please take care of Emma. Emma, I'm glad you found a wonderful partner. If you ever need anything, just let me know. James' face was calm and kind as he said that. He looked like any grandfather doting on his grandchild. What would happen if I broke my promise? That part didn't seem like a joke, but my desire to cherish Emma is real. Not because she's the granddaughter of a mafia boss, but because she is someone I cherished, and now I want to cherish her too.